Hello, Robots in Disguise fans. Welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Transformers Robots in Disguise After Show. Today we are going to the moon with Season 4, Episode 16, Moonbreaker. It's time to rev up and roll out.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I was waiting for that build-up, that dramatic pause, and then there's the music.
Yeah, no, the beginning of this song is just a bunch of percussion for some reason, and it's like, let's not come in on that.
Yeah.
That's a little, yeah, the Moonraker theme, because
Why not?
we all recognize a good reference when we see it, and Fly Me to the Moon didn't fit
You said
quite
wink.
as well.
Otherwise, people listening would
Oh,
have
right,
known
okay.
I said
was like,
wink.
what?
So yeah, you just wink.
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 I can't wink. I end up just.
So that's why you say wink, so people forgive a lot when they understand what you're going.
Yay! Thank you for saving me.
Hello, Transformers fans. We are back. Welcome back to the Robots in Disguise After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are looking at Season 4, Episode 16, Moonbreaker, because when you have a shameless James Bond reference, you go for it.
Although now that you've said it, "Fly Me to the Moon" is
Yep, that's
stuck
the
in
first
my
thing.
head.
That's the first thing that came to my brain. I was like, oh.
I have with me Alexis the Wrecker Torres.
Hey guys, wow, I haven't heard that name.
Oh, I need
in
to redo that. I'm sorry.
So long. No, it was so nice. I missed you guys so much. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890.
I almost went into the Speedster.
Oh,
Our
you're right.
Speedster is on a special mission and has been for most of this season.
Yeah, she's a busy lady.
Very busy bot.
Megan Lord Megatron Salinas.
Hi guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin, and I'm also known as the Green Lion in other circles.
And I'm Katie Prime Cullen. You can follow me all over the social medias at Kiaxet, that is Kiaxet. We have our hashtag on Twitter, ABTVRID. We have our live chat on YouTube, and we've already got a fair number of people coming in and saying hi. So if you have something fun to say, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have fun Photoshops or anything like that, throw them in the hashtag, throw them in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. Like Romantic Caveman, who has joined us and is catching up on our old episodes. We just can't let go of Reaper jokes. They're too easy sometimes.
I also like that Romantic Caveman also wrote a hard-boiled detective short. So apparently I don't have anything to be embarrassed about.
No. Well, look at
And Raymond T made us a comic.
Yes.
Always makes us comics. Those are fun. Where we're going, we don't need pods.
Oh my god, I died. I had an actual spit take like at work reading that, and then I was like, I don't know what he's talking.
Like,
the Doc Brown
this
glasses.
part. Yeah, the Doc Brown
Yeah,
glasses
I'm
on
sorry.
Optimus Prime.
When we get to
Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. When we get to that part, when we start recapping, I'm just gonna say I've never laughed so hard in my life at poor Fix-It's expense. Like I usually
Really? Because we've had
No.
4 seasons of
No,
Fix-It.
I know.
So.
This is the point where I literally just couldn't stop because I can just see. Oh my god, Mitchell just
Yes.
making that noise with his face, and I was like,
Not to mention, this is like the team up we never knew we always wanted.
yeah, right? It's pretty great.
Optimus just like, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
With, like,
Let's
no-
just go.
With no words, just like, and drama back, here we go.
So we might as well start at the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Windblade, guys.
I
Mixed.
audibly gasped,
Yeah,
and
I
I
was
was
like-
so happy.
I like wanted to take my table and
I
shake
didn't
it.
realize how much I missed her until I actually
Yeah.
saw her and heard her voice. I was like, oh yeah, Windblade!
And we talked about it many eons ago of how we were really excited, hopefully, that Windblade would come back at some point in the season. So it's really nice to kind of see her in this
Check
season. Yep, yeah. It's more of a
Like,
question
does
mark.
that count?
Just a half, like a half check mark.
I feel like this is... I feel like we're going to be seeing now, since we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to the resolution of this episode, but I feel like because a lot of things get resolved in this episode, we're going to be seeing a lot more familiar faces that
I
we've
hope
been
so.
maybe missing for a little while.
I mean, it's been a chunk of time since we've seen a fair number of bots.
So
True.
I imagine that we'll be seeing Windblade again in a more consistent... I mean, I wasn't expecting Optimus to come back.
No, that was
in
the
this
surprise.
Yeah,
The
he's just
entire
like,
episode for me.
"Hi, guys."
He was just like, I am here now. And I was like, okay.
I just
What
love
are you doing here? I can't tell you.
I just love it. Well, you never really,
It's classified.
you never really come by to just say hi.
Hi.
So
And that's the point point where like Optimus's heart breaks, he's like, I actually did. I guess I'll go.
Just for that, I'm taking one of your team.
It's like, could you imagine like it does a zoom in on Optimus's head and he's like, actually, I did just come to say hi. Shoot, B expects me to be like actually here on a secret sort of mission.
It's a super secret mission in uncharted space.
So he's like, yeah, I am here for secret reasons. Well, what is it? You have to confide in me.
They're
it's
secret.
Super secret. I can't tell you, but
I'm gonna need to take one of your team
and
with
zooms
me.
in on his head again. It's like, I need some details.
Do you mind lending me one of your bots?
He's going to buy whatever I say, but that doesn't mean I can slack. I'm Optimus Prime.
See, he should have taken some improv workshop classes.
Got the groundlings.
Yeah.
Yes, and.
Can you imagine Optimus Prime being in an improv class? That would
I
be...
need
Yes.
a suggestion from the audience.
I need this in my life.
Well, evidently Peter Cullen and Frank Welker just do this in the booth. So
Well, yeah, correct. But still, I would like to see actual Optimus Prime being like, especially one of those like the Star Trek ones that you go to, just like trying to be in like
oh
the
my
shirt.
God.
That would be delightful.
I would love it so much.
well, the theater just ended their Star Trek run, but they started up their D&D run.
Hey!
So
Oh man,
I'm
that's even.
thrilled.
I'm down with that.
Someone in the audience just
Local
yells,
LA Improv.
someone at the audience just yells, Dark Energon! And he's like, okay, we'll go with Dark Energon. Thank you.
And it's this really dramatic reenactment, and everyone's just crying at the end, like, I thought this was a comedy show.
No, he's just really well rounded.
There is such thing as dramatic long form improv.
Oh god,
There really is.
I want it.
Sorry, Katie. I immediately derailed things. So Windblade
That's
is here,
okay.
and she kind of drops a bomb on everybody, so to speak, by saying she has a cache on the moon.
We got all your caches. Did you get the cache on the moon? Thank you for making me look like an idiot.
Yeah. What?
Though, what now?
I will say, though, that when she's like, oh, did you get the one on the moon? I was like, yay, for one, we're going to space, which is cool. We haven't seen Transformers in space in a little while. And two, I was like, this is already going to be 1,000,000 times better than the last endeavors Transformers had on the dark side of the moon.
We don't talk about that.
No,
it's
no,
like,
we don't.
It's like, yeah, no, we don't talk about that unless we're in therapy.
What's it called? Dark of the Moon, anyway.
Just like pull on the.
Because that's where they found Sentinel.
There was a ship there, right? Yeah. It was, God.
That's where they found Sentinel.
It's like an
That's literally
etch-a-sketch
how
with those
this-
movies. You watch it, and then it's like you immediately forget.
There's
Yeah,
an
I don't
actual
remember
reason
anything.
for that, and it's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's because the movie highlights everything with explosions. Instead of building something up and then having a spectacle so your brain goes, I remember this, everything is a spectacle. And so your brain remembers nothing because it's all static.
I mean, it's-
that's why you can't remember anything that happens in those movies, because it's like this.
I thought it was just the explosions actually just blowing my mind in the worst way.
It's because your brain's like, everything is
basically is.
explosions, therefore nothing is special.
If anybody hasn't checked it out already, check out Shay Lindsay's series that she does, basically dissecting the Transformers films.
It's different schools of film theory as applied to all the Transformers movies, and
Oh,
it's
I like it.
fascinating.
And
Oh,
she,
I wanna know the
a
things.
couple weeks ago, she did her first in a two-part or possibly a multi-part series talking about lady Transformers.
Ooh,
Yeah,
down for that. Also,
How did I miss that?
Well, because again, it's focused on the
Wait,
movies.
I didn't miss that.
It's focused
did
on the
watch
movie.
we're getting there.
That's the power of Bay.
What are we talking about? Windblade?
I'm Menasor tonight, you guys. I'm just glitching out badly.
Man,
So
those glitches were crazy.
Oh gosh, I can't
that
wait
was
till
really weird.
Right?
Yeah, can we
Haven't
talk
seen-
about
let's
that
just,
a little
let's
bit?
just do that. Let's
I'm
just
down.
talk about Menasor for one. And Megan and I still can't get past this, and we watched this episode twice. Like, oh
too.
yeah, Menasor's crimes are many. Not many have survived their encounters with him. He's blown up an entire planetary system, and then we're watching him on the moon like, how? How did this bot manage that?
It must have been an accident, right?
He had to have either failed up or gotten his hands on a doomsday device and then
Something.
set it off inadvertently. Like, I don't buy that this bot managed to plan the destruction of an
doing, like,
entire
a-
planetary
like a-
system.
So wait, so is he the Mr. Bean of like the Cybertronian universe where he just happens to like mess up and then he blows up like something?
I'm gonna go with failing upward. Like, well, I
Okay,
only
okay.
wanted to take over this one planet, but not only did I take over it, it set off this Rube Goldberg machine that just blew up everything.
You know what?
I will take credit for that. I am Menasor.
You know what
I
I'm
planned that all along.
You know what I'm imagining in my head
Exactly.
is he's like, attention, like solar system or whatever generic solar
Universe.
system. I've got this doomsday device, and if you don't,
If you don't-
adhere,
oh,
if you
shoot.
don't adhere to my demands, glitch, and his hand just reflexively hit the button for
So
the
like
doomsday bit.
syndrome. I am syndrome. Your nemesis. Oh, take it.
Yeah. And just, oops. Well, better luck with the next one.
I blew you up to make a point.
Yes.
That's why.
Which, if you think about it in that context of them either failing up or destroying a system on accident or just not caring about the collateral
Right,
damage,
right.
it suddenly makes a lot more sense why the like conquering Earth has been so slow going. It's because
Interesting.
we'll conquer the roads. Like that's a manageable goal that won't destroy
we all
everything.
drive. We can take the roads, and then there are no other systems of transport
Oh.
on this planet,
That
right?
makes more sense because of the fact that it's all like kind of like small fry or small fish, whatever. Accomplishments or things that
guys,
they wanted.
we can't blow up another planet that we're trying to conquer.
So let's just get the roads
We can't
first.
rule if there's not a planet to conquer. You
We
see where
can't
I'm going
rule
with this?
rubble.
I want to roll the rubble.
I think we talked about this a little last episode. Even if Motormaster is intelligent, which debatable, but even if he is the smartest guy in this crew,
Right.
if we're taking an average of these five, and God bless him, we have Wild Break.
I mean,
And Heat Seeker is also not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's good at what he does, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So if we're taking an average here, and that's what gives us Menasor, who is somehow an alternate personality?
yeah, I was
Question
confused
mark?
because I was like, maybe the girls
does
can
this
help
work?
me. Can help me with this because I was like, when these guys form, or combine, they're pretty much it's B. Like it hasn't really changed. So I didn't understand if it's like a Decepticon thing to become a different personality, or is it because they can't control themselves, so they made a new entity in order for them to actually bond.
Menasor doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't get it.
I mean, I feel like he very much is that kind of bizarro brute strength, berserker, how many B words can I come up with for this guy that are appropriate, that is essentially extremely destructive and failing upwards, but not super great once you have him on the ropes. This is a guy who spent a solid minute and a half of a fight yelling at his arms because he couldn't get his sword out of the ground.
Sounds
Like,
like me trying to get out of bed
I
after a
Menasor's
workout.
not all there.
I have a theory.
It could be bunnies.
maybe
I was assuming that it was going to be bunnies.
it's actually just several Transformers in a trench coat.
That's what Menasor is, though.
No,
With the gerbils
It's
on the
5 cars in a trench coat.
Somebody feed the gerbils.
you're two kids in a beautiful trench coat. I do have a theory, but maybe it is better spent like for like the prediction sort of thing.
Sure.
But we know that the thing that allowed B's team to become a combiner was a happy accident.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And Optimus Prime himself says that the key to being a combiner is something that was lost to time. What if, kind of like the mini-cons in the last episode, what if these 5 bots were the subject of experiments, or we're trying to unlock it, and so we're experimenting with something, not Dark Energon per se, but something, MacGuffin-y, Transformers related.
Well, in the comics, there
No, I know what
is
you're
an
saying.
item that actually allows bots to combine, and if I'm recalling what I read correctly, can pull in bots against their will
That was
into
my theory.
combiners.
Yeah,
I
was that they
mean,
were
So
forced.
It would
I don't remember for the life of me what it's called, and after our minute delay in chat, I'm gonna get 5 different people telling me what it's called.
please
which
do, guys.
it's,
wanna
it's
know.
like the nexus of something or other.
But
I
yeah,
don't remember.
again, criminal, and even if we're looking at like things outside of the Decepticons during war,
Right.
like there are plenty of criminals and mad scientists and just generally speaking awful Decepticons out there
Yeah.
who would do this to another group that would, kidnap bots or be like, hey, lackey guys, get over here. I want to show you something. And then
this is the
push them
point.
together.
This is the point where I jazz hands at the entirety of season 3 and the weaponizer mini cons because
that what
literally what happened. Literally what happened.
You just like
And
Will
these-
Smithing it.
just Will Smith in it. Like, yep,
These
this is
five
what
bots
occurred.
have never been a cohesive
True.
thing.
Yeah.
And so, and again, you
duct
can
tape of combination.
you could say what you will about their personalities and just not jiving in that particular way.
True.
But like if they were forced to come together in the first place through some sort of robotic supernatural means, it would make sense
Why they have
that there's a separate personality
Makes
there.
sense.
It also, like, if you want to go like the darker route, it could also just be a manifestation of Motor Master's own personality, like breaking from the trauma of being forced together.
We've got a couple things in chat. Omega
I like
Pulse
that.
says in G1, Menasor was unstable because the Stunticons hated each other and they couldn't control Menasor. Drag strip and wild break. Come on, you guys.
Makes sense.
Well, they combine
Everyone is
just
saying
fine.
Enigma of combination. Beast Wars fan says duct tape of combination. And Nemesis Prime says Enigma of shaky relationships.
Oh my god. But
Which I like that.
Could you just imagine Shockwave in a
That's
lab
my love
somewhere?
life. The Enigma of shaky relationships.
Look at it.
Could you just
Hashtag
imagine
it's complicated.
Shockwave having like kidnapped all these different bots, just taking duct tape and going like, we will discover the secrets behind combiners, and just duct taping them together, and they're like, I don't think this is a scientific method.
I would
Well,
love
and-
to see that as like a little short of like, maybe we could just use this. The humans use it and it works really well. We should try it.
I've heard
mean-
it solves all problems.
Like, it's funny if it's anyone else, but once it's Shockwave, it gets to be terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
then
I
it's
mean, going
scary.
back to the mini-cons, you know that was Shockwave doing that. And then the art had Starscream
He-
finding some of them in literal pieces in those
He is a
test
monster.
tubes. So it's like,
I mean, correct.
tankety tank, I'm terrified.
He did squish
Tank, tank.
blur
Yeah.
out of continuity.
And yeah, well, you will never be
Yes.
over that.
Nope. Which is why I'm glad
We're just gonna move
I'm
past.
fine, guys.
Okay.
I'm just saying Shockwave is a monster.
We knew this.
Yes.
And then
did.
we also had Motor Master making a comment about he didn't want to be in, like with Menasor or in Menasor longer than he had to. So this, to me, is a completely different split personality.
Yeah. And I mean,
That only shows up when they're combined, or that is a
We-
combination
we
of
have-
all of them separate from the parts. Or
I just think it's
I
a
don't know.
weird side effect or something for
Yeah,
them getting
it's-
together.
we
Weird.
also
I
have
know.
that little tidbit of it being Travis Willingham's voice as well.
Yeah, both of them are Travis Willingham, Motor Master and Menasor.
Awesome.
So again,
Just
great on
different
his,
timber.
which
Yeah.
is so funny because when I first heard Menasor speak, I assumed it was a different voice actor.
Me too.
And then you
Look at
see
the credits.
We get to
and you're
the
like,
credits
holy
and
cow.
it's like Motor Master, Menasor. Okay,
okay.
gotcha.
You're like,
Got
well
it.
done, Travis Willingham.
Which,
Well
God
done.
bless Robots in Disguise for having who voices who in the credits.
Yes, it's
Thank
so
you
nice.
so much.
It makes things a lot easier.
I say that having had to do a lot of sleuthing for some of the other shows I'm on.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Like, well, here's a list of additional voices, and nothing's on IMDb. Guesswork.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I were to venture a guess, I would guess that the manifestation of a separate personality is either something that developed over time,
I think so.
or it's a straight up side effect of whatever voodoo was used to bring them used to bring them together in the first place.
Yeah. I think it would be a combination of the two.
Hey. I
had
think
to
it's
do
an
it.
enigma.
Wow.
I hate you both.
Of course you do.
I had to do one.
So yeah, now that we went down the rabbit hole for Menasor,
yeah, that was weird.
Always count on me to make it dark.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it.
we all went there.
Yeah, it was really
We
nice.
were talking about Shockwave for a chunk of time.
I mean,
Let's
'cause
be real.
There's no other way that you can
Sorry.
make that. You can make that light from it. What?
What's in the hashtag?
LaserGone on Twitter wrote Motor Master Logic and did no one else can conquer the roads if there's no roads to
and
conquer.
it's the
No,
meme
for
with the
real.
guy pointing at his head.
Yeah, no,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
really smart. I didn't even think about that.
Oh my God.
Look at you. Usually Katie breaks my mind. That was really awesome. That was fantastic. I want to keep that forever.
I'm sorry, I interrupted a
No,
thought.
no,
No,
I
bless
remember
you,
that
Laser
thought.
On. That
was
was
more
amazing.
important than what I was gonna say.
And I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about this satellite.
Okay, I don't know if it was because I just blacked out for a second watching Fix It and I was laughing too hard. What was the significance of the satellite in the first place?
It was evidently a satellite that was a weapons satellite or something, and
Right.
had missiles on board.
Right.
And when they knocked it out of orbit, it would have survived atmospheric reentry and then blown up upon colliding with the ground. And, of course, it would have landed in Crown City because literally everything happens in Crown City because reasons.
I'm not a space scientist.
You're not.
No, and any astrophysicist out there or any NASA employees who happen to be watching, I would love to get your take on this. But why would you arm a satellite with missiles if you don't have means of being able to course correct if something happens?
Wouldn't the missiles burn up in atmospheric reentry?
That was my first question.
I wonder if this wasn't some line of defense against any other Decepticon ships coming in.
Because the fact that
because
they also
the military
had guns,
is in on this noise.
Oh, that's right.
Agent
that's right.
Fowler.
That makes a lot
That
of
makes
sense.
a lot more sense.
You still have a satellite with a defense system and no means of propulsion control or course correction.
I don't understand.
Who got this military contract and who built it? I know people who work for Northrop Grumman. This is not something that gets overlooked. You have too many minds on this for this to not make it through. We have a satellite with no course correction.
They just They just wanted really cool space battles, guys.
It's because you even have meteors coming in, and I know, or other space debris from other satellites.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because if a meteor gets too close to the satellites, they can actually shoot the meteor. Maybe it will break it up into a bunch of pieces. I can see that. But if a meteor
I
big
get
enough,
that,
if it breaks into that,
but
that
yeah,
would
having
blow up.
no means of course correction.
True.
Again, I'm not a space scientist.
If I could just put a little asterisk, it's like, you're not scientists.
It's one of those things where I guess if you put a satellite up there and you do the math just right, you're like, okay, this will be its orbit for
But
forever.
that is assuming that nothing ever goes up there, that there is no space debris of any capacity, that it's not going to run into the next meteor shower that we have. Putting something up there with literally no means of course correction is asking for it to get off course.
Especially when
it doesn't
when
make
it's armed.
sense.
It'd be one thing if it was a DirecTV satellite or an AT&T satellite.
That's what I was thinking.
But if straight up weaponized one, you would think I don't know. What?
Timothy in chat says probably the same people who built the tank that Crazy Frog and the Redditor
Wow.
stole.
Wow.
Oh, that's a deep pull, but you're absolutely right. Man, military design in this world is just not up
weird,
to
man.
par.
It's weird.
I will say though that when it did start falling to Earth and
Oh my
Optimus
God.
Prime grabbed Fix It and started flying towards it, I was like, are we gonna have a Gundam Wing moment
That's
here
what
where
I
he's
was
gonna have to
thinking.
fly ahead of it?
Pulls out. I remember original Gundam where for atmospheric reentry he pulled cellophane out of the Gundam's chest compartment and used it for reentry, and I'm just like, this is amazing. This was also written in the 80s.
Yep.
Atmospheric reentry with heavy duty cellophane. God bless Japan.
I was picturing straight up Gundam Wing, where Wing Zero is there as the space colony is falling to Earth, and he has to shoot it as his Gundam is breaking apart, and it's awesome. And it's one of the spoilers.
How dare you? How long has it been?
It's like, how are we? Yeah, no, who hasn't seen
come on.
Endless Waltz?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
He is nice. But no, I agree with you on that. Oh, jeez. But I agree with you on that. I didn't really know where they were going with that. I was a little worried about Optimus, but it seemed like he obviously, he usually does, has a handle
Again,
on things.
it was the team up I never knew I always wanted.
It was
Where
pretty
we're
great.
going, we don't need pods. Just
Yeah.
you hang on here. We're going. Doesn't even bother telling Fix It what they're doing. Just clamp, gone.
Like, I was like, he's not a weapon. Well, okay, never mind.
You are not a gun.
Yeah,
He's
you
not-
can't just like throw him on your back and just tell him to hold on. This is not never-ending story. We can't do crap like that. We're just like, hold on, Falcor. Like, no, that's not how this works.
He's not a weaponizer, but that doesn't mean he's not armed.
I mean, true, correct, but still, I was just like, what if Fix-It just fell off? Like he was like, oh, I don't know, and there he goes. Goodbye, Fix-It.
well, Optimus has course correction. He can
At
just
least
go
he
pick him up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
God.
so that was fun and interesting. Like, we have a satellite that has a defense system and a weapon system, but no propulsion system.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
We have to
Indeed.
remove the heat shield so it blows up upon atmospheric reentry, but doesn't affect anything else. Okay.
Cool. Nobody
I am
noticed.
down. I will accept robot science.
Yeah, but I also love
Dude,
that it
I'm in.
Transformers.
that it blew up, and we got a little like taste of, well, not taste, but like a little clip of seeing like the city and it blowing up, and I was like, no, nobody would just be like, oh my god, look, explosion. No, we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
It's a
Crown
good
City.
thing the heat shield failed and it blew up upon atmospheric reentry. And some deep wing of the government is just sitting there going, oh my god, we really need these giant robots
I
to
was
quit
gonna
blowing
say-
up our stuff.
I was gonna say somewhere in like cutting away, somewhere far away at a military facility in get all nowhere. There's just a few pencil pushers that are just sitting there freaking out.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Somewhere a
You go
retired
tell 'em.
agent. Somewhere a retired Agent Fowler is watching the news, sipping a martini, and laughing his head off.
Not my problem anymore.
I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah. Good luck with that, everybody.
Felicity, bring me another.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I do like thinking about like, a bunch of government employees scrambling, going like, what do you mean one of our Transformer defense satellites
Blew up.
just blew up?
Oh my god.
I don't think you understand the point of a Transformers defense satellite.
Well, if we'd put propulsion control on there, like I said we would, this wouldn't be a problem.
Stop it with
Bob.
that, Jerry.
know,
We're
that's
not
what I mean.
having this discussion again.
We wouldn't have had to have this discussion if we'd allocated the budget correctly.
Oh my god, I just see a lot of
Bob.
angry hitting the tables and pointing fingers like the entire time. Lord.
Do not push me, Jerry.
You get out of here. You get out of here and cool off.
This is a comedy routine.
I love it. I love it so much.
But yeah, it again, after having not seen him for a while, it was great to see Optimus Prime flying around. I have missed that gravitas that he brings
was
to the
nice.
show.
Oh my god, yes. And we had a space battle
We did.
for a hot second, but we did.
I enjoyed
Pretty
it.
cool.
Back,
not even
back
gonna
to
lie.
Motor Master logic. They'll never expect us in space. Like,
I did
why
just-
wouldn't you blow up their base though? Like, you have an opportunity. It's unguarded. You can divide and conquer. Why would you know?
I think we've established that he's not very smart.
Not very bright, guys. The bulbs are not
All he
on
has is
there.
a hammer, so every problem is a nail.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually worried for a second when they showed up at the base. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. And then nothing happened. And I was like, okay.
Not to
I
mention
guess.
that these bots have a penchant for murdering squishies.
Yeah, that's what I was ready for it. I was like, he's gonna take the squishies and it's gonna be a terrible time. And then no, it didn't do that. We were just
We
like,
needed to give David K more lines.
clearly.
Yes!
Clearly.
And I
I'm
truly
okay with that.
appreciated
That
that
was
David
fine.
K had more lines because, and I thought we were hunting for squirrels. Just like, bless you.
Yeah.
You're evil, but I love you.
I am fully supportive of anything that gives David K more lines.
Yeah. Always
Like,
down.
I
yeah.
am behind that 100%. 100%.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
And now we're done. We just kind of threw them all into cryo tubes and went, bye.
That was so easy. Did anybody else feel like that was way too quick? Anybody? Just me?
Well, again, and this is something we've been talking about too, is that obviously when we have been suspecting it ever since we found out how Motor Master's not the sharpest tool in the shed,
Yeah.
brightest crayon in the box, etc., etc.
Yes.
And how Menasor is just,
The
Twitchy.
the big bad of the season is not going to be Menasor. The big bad of the season is going to be Soundwave.
Well, I
And
mean, I
I
knew
would
that deep
argue-
down.
I know
but
we all did, but we didn't know how long Menasor
true.
was going to stick around.
I just wasn't
Well,
expecting
this
to
is-
wrap up in a nice bow. At least in this episode. I thought we were going to get at least a couple more shenanigans before then, you know?
well, and this is wandering into predictions territory, but let's talk about the reason Optimus is here. And it isn't just to say hi. He shows up because...
It's not just to check in on Junior.
Yeah, just want to make sure he's doing a good time.
Galvatron in chat says,
Did you do your
push his
homework?
button. That was easy. Thank you. That's what I think of every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's showing up to say, hey, there's something happening. I can't tell you what it is. It's a super secret mission in uncharted space. But I need one of your team. Eeny, meeny, miny, drift.
That's too easy. I love
Why
that.
do we need him? I can't tell you. What do we need him for? I can't tell you. What's the threat? I can't tell you. I just need that guy.
Does anybody think that the threat Optimus is talking about actually is Soundwave?
Oh,
No.
I don't think so.
You think
No,
something
because it's
completely
a threat to Cybertron and Earth, which to me says bigger.
I don't know. The two planets are linked. They
mean,
made
true.
that point a million times.
We're gonna go wake Satan back up.
I mean,
There's
I
a
was
cult.
hoping.
They need Drift to infiltrate.
Yeah.
Bring the mini-cons.
But I
Seriously,
immediately...
that the whole plot is there's a small space that nobody can fit into.
Yeah,
So we
they
chose
need the
Drift
mini-cons.
because he has kids.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I would totally believe that.
I was thinking he picked Drift because Drift is the only one
Who's not a
that-
child.
that wouldn't have complained
Yes.
about not getting picked.
Oh my gosh, I was like,
yes.
with the two of them.
But also, Drift used to run in Decepticon circles.
True.
We had that. So it's
True.
possible he could be like, yeah, no, I'm totally back. So.
Yeah, as an
Sup.
aloof bounty hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, because he, even though he's been running with the B crew for a good long, the B team for a good long while. I mean, before he came to Earth, he was just a regular old bounty hunter.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
honorable
He-
one, but still.
He has a code, but yeah, he's just a bounty hunter.
Because it was
and-
him versus Fracture and the
Yep.
three amigos.
Yep.
Yep, exactly.
I miss them too.
They were fun.
know,
I
I
liked
liked
them.
that
They were
episode.
a little family.
Air
know,
Razor
adorable.
and that other guy.
That one that we,
I can't remember.
Air Razor
No, there's a
and-
lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Air Razor and
you know.
Three amigos.
Nemesis Prime says Menasor is running on Windows 8.
Oh,
You're not wrong.
So is he Internet Explorer? That's sad.
And Omega Pulse
I would have said
says-
Windows Vista.
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
But that's old. That's
Yeah,
dating
Oh
myself.
no, Windows Millennium Edition.
Oh, why would you do that?
I had a computer that ran on
Yeah,
that.
me too, and I hated it.
And Omega Pulse says, remember, Optimus, Ratchet, and Windblade left at the end of Season 2 to investigate Cybertron's government. Optimus could be
True.
foreshadowing the Cybertronian government / the Council.
Are we
Interesting.
finally getting there?
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
with probably not, but I still want it.
I will cross my fingers.
I am beyond asking this series to give me what I want because you get what you want, and I get in trouble for asking for things. So
I mean, that's true.
She gets paid.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I learned a lesson about wanting things, you guys.
Although it's kind of switched for you guys. For Attack on Titan, you're usually the one in pain, and she's usually like, oh! and then it's now switched for Transformers.
I feel like
full
this
anime.
I feel like this is karma balancing itself
It's
out.
pretty great, and it's just me, just either breaking or happy.
Well, in this series, people are less likely to get horrifyingly murdered. Let's be real.
That's true. I will take that any day. For now.
yeah.
Until it comes back.
At least on screen.
Yeah, at least until
Well, and
Attack
also
on Titan comes
season
back.
3, keep in mind, when we got a hold of Optimus, he straight up said, yeah, I didn't make it to Cybertron yet, so who knows where he stands on this point,
Yeah.
if he's made it to Cybertron or if he's still investigating something out in the boonies, but no, I would be down.
Yeah.
And guys, quit talking spoilers in chat.
Oh, God, no, no.
I can't believe I have to say this every week.
I almost love
You need to stop.
Stop it, guys.
It's,
guys.
it's vague at this point, but it's like,
I'm going to be thinking about it. Shush.
don't.
I haven't been here. Shush.
Let us throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Come on.
Wow.
Let
nice.
us be happily wrong.
Huh, I'll take that.
It's fun.
In
it's
much the
fun
same
to guess
way
and
that
speculate.
sides-
It's not
No.
fun getting it ruined for you.
Yes.
Like in much the same way that Sideswipe and Strongarm were happily wrong during this entire
so
episode.
nice.
Yeah, on the
I
one
get it though. They really want Senpai to notice them.
I mean, like it's really. I mean, who wouldn't want to go on a super special secret awesome mission with Optimus Prime?
But I would also wait for Optimus to tell who he's going to pick.
yeah, exactly.
Not gonna
Sideswipe
tell
just
Optimus.
sneaking up on people and being like, "Look how sneaky I am, and just the look on Optimus's face, like, oh, I
Yeah.
did not miss this.
Yeah, okay. This is why I picked Drift, everybody.
Every time, and only I'm sure only some listeners will get this, but every time Sideswipe jumped out to scare somebody, I kept going, Magnus.
Yeah.
See, I was on the other opposite of just like, what a trip. That's what I was thinking
What a
of.
trip.
Just like no whispering.
Everybody's like, I'm stealthy, and I'm like, guys, we all know that orange is the stealthiest anime color. Come on.
I mean, that is what ninjas wear.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Red, not so much.
Yeah.
Red is a notice me color. Red cars get more speeding tickets than
They do.
any other color
They
of
do
car.
That's why I thought it was so funny that he's like, oh, I do this. Like, the fact that he calls it a
Sneaking.
whisper, I was like,
Whisper mode.
stop talking. 1, 2.
Like-
You're a bright red sports car. You're the loudest, brightest thing in this entire
That literally
room.
looks
You're
like it's
very
right out of
crisp.
Tokyo
You
Drift.
don't have a stealth mode.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works. I'm like, even Grimlock can actually hide somewhere before you can actually try to be like stealthy. Stop it. Jeez.
Grimlock is just not stealthy because size,
Yeah.
forms, and also enthusiasm.
But I bet you he can really surprise you. So like, I'm just saying.
I mean, he hasn't been caught yet. He hides under the tarp, and he's the only one of them that can't transform into a car.
Yeah.
And the only person that found them out is the person that's, not gonna rat them out because he's just hanging out making pretzels.
yeah, just having a good time. Oh man,
I
I
miss
that
him,
episode.
brother.
I can't
Brother
remember his name.
Francis? Brother Friends?
I
I don't
think it started
remember.
with an F for sure, but I was actually just watching that episode again just because it was on, and I was like, Mom.
Brother Fonzie.
Hey! That's what I both went, hey.
Brother Pretzel Maker.
Oh god, now I want a pretzel.
I really just want to see. I know we've talked about this, but I really just want to see Grimlock making pretzels in the background.
I think it'd be
If the
super cute.
Vatican can sell giant donuts, the scrapyard can sell giant pretzels.
I think
would
they
be
make a lot of
delicious.
money.
I see no
Um,
problem with
But
this.
to kind of get back to what we were talking about, I mean, the thing holding the team back is this sense of competition between Strong Arm and Sideswipe. And I wanted to know how you guys feel about, like, it's their internal conflict that is preventing the whole team from coming together.
I mean,
Look at how #surprised I am not.
yeah, I mean, I was hoping that wasn't going to be the issue. I was hoping maybe it was like B like trying to, because we did have that moment back in earlier in the season of him like trying to figure out where he stands with his team and how they just really just
like,
don't
am I a
connect.
friend?
Yeah.
Am I a mentor? Am
Like,
I
what
an
am I?
authoritarian?
Yeah, so like maybe
Well, and
his
last
ambitions.
time it was B being authoritarian and just being a problem, and everyone else kind of coming together to be like, you need to cool your jets. And so they were all on the same page there and able to combine. So it's the singular mindset that would allow them to combine, and I'm down with that. I'm good with this.
We didn't talk about it last week, but yeah, it is an interesting point that earlier in the season, B was trying way too hard to be the nice guy, and then in that episode, he was trying way too hard to be this authoritarian leader.
Yeah.
Stop trying. You're doing just fine, sweetie.
Yeah, no, seriously, just when you feel resistance, just stop. Like, it's fine. But yeah, I was hoping that it was something within B because the fact that again we don't.
I guess that would have been retreading from the
true.
other episode. though.
Exactly. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe they didn't want to do that, but I always feel like it's also kind of we've been doing this for how many seasons now with the two of them just not seeing eye to eye. Like they can't always be the reason every single time, but I also see it's like we're always having a different reason to combine. Ugh.
Well, and these two are always going to kind of be the red oni, blue oni thing. They're always going to be going at each other.
Right.
And I'm okay with that, especially in a situation like this where status quo, if they were acting like this, yeah, okay, no, it's a problem. Why are you doing this? Optimus Prime shows up and wants one person for his secret mission. Yeah, they're going to be like, no, you totally should pick me. This is why I'm the best choice. Like, allow me to prove myself to you so I can go do this really awesome thing with Optimus freaking Prime.
And
Yeah.
we also pointed it out last week as well. Sideswipe goes, validate me!
Oh my God,
that
yes.
was ridiculous. I was just like, wow, bring the flag down. It's okay.
But I need it if I get validated But if I get validated by Optimus, maybe I'll fill this void in my life.
Oh Lord have mercy, this boy, I swear.
And then of course,
Dude has issues.
I know.
And then
they all do.
Strong Arm obviously just
Except for
like,
Drift.
he's a war hero just like B, only he's legendary. So
Yeah.
of course she wants to be a part
No,
of it.
of course.
as well.
Like, it makes sense for everybody to have. Well, maybe not Drift because he's like, I'm just here.
Drift is just like, you kids and your shenanigans. I swear to Primus, can we not?
I'm like, I already have to deal with 2 little ones. I can't deal with you teenagers at the same time.
I am raising 2 mini cons that are about 11 and 13 years old, within a couple years of each other, and it's very difficult to.
Yeah, like I can't do preteens and then almost adults. Like I can't do this right now.
no.
Get it together. So, especially with Grimlock, just I don't even know what his age is sometimes. But yeah, I don't mind the dynamic because I mean it's just like going up to someone who clearly you admire for so long, especially for not Sideswipe, Strong Arm.
Yeah.
But Sideswipe, I feel like he's just that attention hog, but it also kind of makes sense. I don't know. I was hoping for maybe like a little bit more of like games kind of like them like trying to like do certain feats to like show that they wanted to do that, but we also didn't have time because apparently we were trying to find this mysterious wind blade on the moon.
Plasma thermal accelerator module.
Yeah, insane.
Do you
Which,
think she
in the
just-
wrong hands, could be used as a weapon. Okay, that's going to be in the wrong hands by the end of this episode.
Also, isn't
beams.
everything in your cache in the wrong hands very much a dangerous weapon?
That's why she has caches.
I don't
Just
get it.
going to squirrel this away for the winter. Like nuts.
Oh,
love it.
Windblade.
Unlike squirrels, she knows where she keeps things.
Oh my god. Is Sandy with you?
Yeah, no, yeah.
But
yeah, no,
Sideswipe red
I-beams.
versus Strong Arm blue. That's
I-beams.
I-beams. Yeah, that was. I think
I loved it, not gonna lie.
Again, in terms of like audible responses from me, I think I went, whoa!
right? Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, that's new.
I just, of all things to happen there, I was not expecting laser I-beams. Like, all right,
I like this.
cool.
I like this new tool. I think it's really nice.
We're just gonna
Superman
stick
it.
our sword straight through it, and it's a very good thing that it didn't explode. But okay.
It can work. It can work.
Well, you didn't need that wrist.
Nah.
Just yell at your arm some more. It'll be fine.
I love it.
That's how I get them to do what I want.
Menasor became
Work!
Superman.
Sorry, what?
No, I said Nemesis in the chat says Menasor became Superman, and I was like, yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I
Maybe
got that.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarro, but it would have been more.
Ooh.
Okay,
Or
so
Nuclear Man.
Oh yeah, man.
with the fingernails.
Yeah.
So we have at the end of this, like, all right, we've broken up our combiners, we've put them all in their individual little tubes, and we're taking them with us, and hopefully no one gets out, because obviously cryo tubes are just the most secure thing ever.
I was like, we're putting them on a
Spoilers,
ship.
they're really super not.
I just love how we're like starting again from the beginning of like we're taking these prisoners, we're putting them on a ship, and we're just
And
you
we're
know,
leaving.
And we're also taking one of the more competent members of your team away. Okay, mate.
See, this is, and I
was like,
I
I'm
feel
starting to
like-
notice something happening here.
Is there anything else we want to talk about in this episode? Because I want to roll into predictions.
The only other thing I want to say is that animation was gorgeous.
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about
Oh,
like that
yeah.
atmospheric re-entry stuff was
Super cool.
really beautiful. Seeing the fight choreography was really smooth and great. So yeah, animation in this episode top notch. Good job.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
it was beautiful.
I loved it.
Okay, let's wander on into predictions here. Let's do that.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Oh.
predictions.
And laser light show.
Laser light show.
I feel like I
I
haven't
beam
seen
light
this
show.
in forever.
So we have at the end of this episode Drift and kids going off with Optimus Prime on a super secret mission in
Family
uncharted
trip!
space. Family road
Family
trip.
road trip.
Family vacation.
Just
So we have that. So I'm
stop by the space
honestly
mall.
thinking,
Are we there yet?
there's no way that we're done with Combiner stuff.
No,
There
no,
is
no.
absolutely no way that we're finished with this. This season is called Combiner Wars. We're not wrapping this up at what may or may not be the halfway point and then wandering on with
That's
our
how
merry
we beat
lives.
Soundwave with the power of friendship.
I honestly think that our next few episodes, however long, the next 3, the next 6, the next whatever, are going to be dealing with Soundwave because we have the combiner form, but we don't have a weapon. So it may
No
be
Decepticon hunters, yeah.
so
Yeah.
it may be, well, we don't have Drift, so the combiner form does not have a weapon. So
Lord.
it may be a little more combiner training, but I don't think we're going to have another combiner villain until we deal with Soundwave. That said, I don't think Soundwave is our be-all, end-all villain for this. I think we're going to
Really?
wind up dealing with him
And
and
someone
then
bigger?
having another combiner.
And
Or
I didn't
we
even think
might
about
have
that.
Soundwave as part of another combiner. But I seriously doubt that we're getting to the end of this
Maybe
season.
he'll become a mega combiner with like all these mini cons or something.
Maybe.
You know,
But I doubt we're getting to the end of this season without another combiner because it's called Combiner Wars, and Menasor was.
you know what
Yeah,
I could see?
Menasor.
I could actually see Menasor and friends coming. You know, the Menasor crew coming back. But because, as we have talked about extensively in this episode, they're not very smart. I could see Menasor coming back being manipulated by a smarter villain we're already familiar with.
True.
Okay. All right, I can see that.
And I'm throwing it in with.
Yes.
I'm throwing it in with completely different combiner. What if we got Devastator? What if we got? We could get.
Ooh, I like that very much.
And evidently, Chad is like Moonheart, Moonheart. And I'm
Yes!
like,
Hashtag
Moonheart.
Moonheart.
Moonheart is part of a combiner.
Yes!
So-
It could happen!
It could happen.
Guys, it could happen!
I'm so excited.
Moonheart, the greatest Decepticon
But I mean,
ever made.
I would think I'm kind of on the same, but I'm kind of in the middle where like I feel like yes, we are gonna get a new combiner, but in my head I'm thinking of like Soundwave pretty much like Menasor comes up and is just like, oh, it didn't work, or like we escaped, barely, but we're gonna get back at them again, and he's like, no, you've failed me for the last time kind of thing. But then he like forces them to combine with him, and then obviously the other bots that he's already, or other cons that he already has, and then like I said, he becomes a mega combiner, and he just destroys crap. Like it's gonna be insane. So that's me though.
Or two combiners, 2-on-1 fight.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I went to like a really terrible place. With that one Menasor, I was like, he actually kills them and then uses them as like dead zombie like combiners. That's what I went into.
People yelled at me when
you
we,
really did take Dark Energon as a
told you.
suggestion.
when people were yelling at me when we basically confirmed that the minicons weren't resurrected zombies. People were like, Megan, and I was like, what? I was just throwing it out there.
So I'm adding that.
The only other thing I want to throw out there is that, again, Decepticon hunters, your imagination is the limit, and all three of them are in Soundwave's hands, so imagination.
And Soundwave is a terrifying Decepticon.
I agree. So yeah, if you take all those things and put them together, it just sounds like a very terrible
gonna say
time.
combining.
I stopped. I tried to find
If
other
you
words.
combine that, then
God damn it.
yeah. So
Bruticus.
yeah, there's a lot of people talking in chat, and again, I don't know if this is spoilers or if
dang
people
it, I'm
are just
sorry.
yelling.
Shouldn't have said it loud.
I don't know if it's spoilers or if people are just yelling what they
Yelling
want.
out wish lists.
So
wish list.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll ignore it for now.
thank you guys for watching. Thank you, chat, for popping in for this. Thank you guys for saying things.
Yep.
Like, we really super appreciate this. Thank you for the photoshops in the hashtag.
It's
Seriously, we love the commentary. We love the photoshops. You guys are great. Thank you for joining us once again for Robots in Space.
Do we have time for this announcement real quick, or?
Yeah, I think we got
Okay.
a little bit.
Go, fight, win.
Really quick, just a network announcement. As always, we thank you so much for your support, and we actually have some exciting news about AfterBuzz. Whether you're a new listener or a longtime AfterBuzz fan, you know that the world's number. I'm not going to be able to keep that up.
Yep.
#1 destination for TV coverage. Well, starting next month, we'll be expanding our content beyond just after shows to bring you a whole new slate of content, format, and guests. Our after shows aren't going anywhere; they're simply evolving. Most of the shows you love only air for part of the year, but during the rest of the year, these shows have consistently breaking news that you want to talk about. So as the ESPN of TV talk, we know it's our job to cover it. We have in-depth show coverage for comedy, drama, animated, truly anything you can imagine. Nothing is off limits. And given our no limits approach to TV coverage, we realize that sometimes it can be hard to find the show that you love. And we listened. We're restructuring the website, shows, and our platforms to make it easier to find what you're looking for. Our YouTube channel will be divided into 9 sections by genre: drama, comedies, reality competition, wrestling, and sports, animation, sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes. That was all one. Red carpets, and lastly, our own featured and original content. There's a lot to be excited about, but it won't all happen overnight. As we develop, we'll be experimenting to cater to your TV desires, which means your participation and feedback will be essential to deliver these custom shows. To keep up to date with everything, be sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter launching in September, and check out our show, AfterBuzz Weekly, with Megan Stetcher.
Ooh, that was a lot of words, girl. Good for you. That was awesome.
Winner.
Thank you.
Chicken dinner?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay,
So
great.
yeah, stay tuned. Things are changing. We're combining.
Oh, no!
Alexis, where can the people find you?
Oh, God. You can find me consoling Megan at the main one and ATORS890. I'm going to be doing a lot more things on my YouTube channel, hopefully, in the future. My husband is actually hosting now. He is on Bolt. Box Office Breakdown on our sister network, Popcorn Talk. You should definitely check it out and give him some support.
Nice. I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMengun. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at I did all the words. I did all the words already. I am also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. I write articles for the Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out. Be sure to also check out the YouTube channel Silver Screams for a bunch of horror movie fun.
Do it.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can follow me all over the social medias and on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We're doing reactions on YouTube. I'm streaming Hustle Cat on Twitch, which is baby first dating sim, and it's nuts. I am also on Geek and Sundry's Gather Your Party on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. That's twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry. It's super fun. Y'all should join. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
In space!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.